Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to our fourth lecture. Today this PowerPoint is downloaded from the internet Google search. It's about plot, identifying the elements of a plot, in which we will use a diagram. Now, plot has, as you can see, this is a diagram detailing the plot. As we can see, there's a beginning where the man standing, then he climbs up to a middle, then goes to an end. Now let's see what does this diagram indicates and shows. When a story starts, we start from going from the beginning, then we climb up to a climax, which is the middle of the story. Then we have, after we finish the problem, we go on to the end. That's how it goes. Now, first of all, let us define plot. Plot is the organized pattern or sequence of events that make up a story. Every plot is made up of series of incidents that are related to one and another. Okay, so plot is the organized pattern or sequence of events that make up a story. So these events, which stories and incidents, are related, connected to each other. Now, the first part, number one, which is exposition. Exposition is usually occurs at the beginning of a short story or a novel or whatever. Here, the characters are introduced. We know the characters, their names, their appearances, and other things. We also know about the setting of the story we are studying. Most importantly, we are introduced to the main conflict, main problem. In the novel we are studying, at the first chapter, we were introduced to the boys, Ralph, Peggy, Jack, and other boys. We were introduced to the setting, which was an island, a deserted, uninhabited island, and the problem was that the boys want to be rescued. All of these are introduced in the exposition. Then we have the rise in action, which is a series of conflicts. As we studied in the class, the conflict is a struggle between an antagonist or protagonist, and it has many types. So rise in action is the part of the story begins to develop the conflict, a building of interest or suspense, of course. So we start having conflict, and as we see in chapter 3 and 4 and 5, there is a conflict between the boys Jack and Ralph. So out the story, it leads us to the climax. This is the turning point of the story. The climax, which is the middle, is the turning point of the story. Usually, the main character comes face to face with a conflict. The main character would change in some way, and this we will study in the coming novel chapters. So after the climax, we have the falling action. All loose ends of the plot are tied up. The conflicts and climax are taken care of. Everything ends, no more conflict. What happens after that? After the falling action, we have the resolution. The story comes to a reasonable ending, and when here the story ends and everything is solved. Now, putting it all together, we have exposition and rising action. These constitute the beginning of a story, climax, the middle of the story, the falling action and resolution, the end of a story. So every plot has three parts: beginning of a story, middle of a story, end of a story. In the beginning, we have the exposition and the rising action. In the middle of the story, we have the climax containing the turning point of the story, and then the falling action and resolution. Thank you.